Hi guys, welcome back. So we are in project page where I'm explaining ASAP versus Activate methodology. Okay. So if we follow ASAP methodology, right? Then look at here. We are having 5 phases out of which first, second and third phase till realization I have already explained. Now the fourth phase. So configuration is done, testing is completed. That is called UT and IT. Unit test and integration test. So these are completed. Now what next guys? The next one is now we have to move out to the next phase called final preparation. So look at here in final preparations what is happening guys? In final preparations generally, okay. So in final preparations, look at here the purpose of this phase is to complete the final preparations including testing and user training system management. So these all things I have specified here. Let's have a look one by one. So the first one is user acceptance test, UAT. See, in the previous phase, we have done UT and IT. After configurations, unit test or integration test. So hope you guys are able to understand the unit test and integration test which is already explained in the previous session. Unit test means individual. For individual, process, we have to do the configurations and we have to perform the testing. Integration test means we are having dependencies on other module, and I quoted the example of P2P process where we are having integrations with MM. Okay, that will be explained in detail in the form of FIMM integration. Okay, that is a topic which I have to explain practically in upcoming session. Not now, it will take time. Before that, multiple other topics I have to explain, but that also I'll explain. Okay, now. So here now, so generally the first activity in fourth phase is user acceptance test. So till now here in third phase, all the testing is done by you people only. Unit test done by you. Integration test done by you and plus your colleague. MM consultant is your colleague. So all the testings are done by consultant. Now, how client will be satisfied? Client will also perform testing from their end. So generally what happen in UAT, client will perform the testing. Okay, that is called user acceptance test. So generally what happen? Client means now let's suppose in finance department there are 200 members or 250 members. So do you think that everybody are going to test one by one? No, it is not possible. If everybody started testing, it will take too much time. So simply what happened? If you guys are able to remember, in blueprint, I said like core team member. Core team member means that is your counterpart from client side. If you need any informations, you need to ask from this, like you need to discuss with the core team member and this guy will provide the informations. Okay. Okay. So now, so we can invite the core team member, okay, for this user acceptance test. So he or she will perform this user acceptance test, and if they're satisfied with the testing, so they have to accept it. That is, this one is fine. Right? So this acceptance, how acceptance can be given by those people? See, in a real time, everything supposed to be documented. You must be having proof. Somebody has said that yes, it is accepted, and after that, if that guy has, like, let's suppose later on what happened? Later on it simply rejected that no, I didn't accept because some flaw was there and I need so and so field supposed to be added. So generally what happened during testing, once the testing is completed, right? So we have to take, like, a document will be prepared. For this UAT document will be prepared and we need to take the sign off. Or else mostly what is happening guys nowadays, so documents are not required, simply on email we can get the confirmations. So that is also documents only. A kind of proof is there that yes, you have accepted on so and so date and you have already replied, right? So UAT means user acceptance test. So unit by unit again, we are doing configuration and testing. In that way also, generally what happen? Uh, okay. So generally, I'll tell you, in third phase, we have performed UT and IT, and in fourth phase, we are inviting him for user acceptance test. So generally, what SAP says that it's okay, you just do all the configurations and you perform the testing. And once you have configured everything, if the system is ready, then you can invite this core team member to perform their testing. In real time, what is happening, guys? In real time, what people do, they will just configure one process. They have tested immediately they'll invite the core team member also, and this guy will also perform the testing. If he found that yes, it is okay, then we can move further. So this is what is happening in real time. So look at here, uh, but like generally as for SAP, it is coming in fourth phase, right? So that's what I'm saying, that in real time lots of things are happening. Okay, lots of things are happening now. So UAT will be conducted by core team member. That's fine. They have accepted everything that yes, it is fine, and in that case we can proceed further. We can move further. Again, another configurations will be taking place, and we can test it. We can invite the core team member. Generally, what happened? Core team member during implementation will spend most of the time with the consultant only, because multiple informations we required every time. Okay. Now, so UAT is conducted, that's fine, everything is accepted by client, and client has given the green signal that yes, everything is fine, we are satisfied with that. Then what happened, guys? Then we have to go for another activity called cut over activity. I'm still able to remember, guys. This is what the first question was, asked by interviewer when I was giving the first interview, right? I'm talking about way back 15, 16 years back, isn't it? So the first question was asked by interviewer, what do you mean by cut over activity? And I was not able to respond because wherever I taken the training, the faculty simply, they were more focusing on the configurations without explaining the logic. And this is what is happening here in the uh, everywhere nowadays. In 99% of the people are still doing the same thing. Okay. So cut over activity is what? Cut over activity is, now let's suppose here. So since the implementation is happening for Tata Motor is using a legacy system. Okay. Tally is legacy system, right? So Tata Motor is using an ERP. This existing ERP is called legacy system. Okay, in SAP language. So Tata Motor is using one ERP. In this ERP, multiple datas are there. Okay. So Tata Motor, of course, Tata Motor needs those data in SAP also. So generally what happened, guys? In that case, we have to migrate the data. Okay. We have to migrate data from where? From this legacy system to SAP system. Okay. So we have to migrate the data from legacy system to SAP system. And so this is called data migration, right? This data migration activity itself is called cut over activity, guys. So if anybody asks, what do you mean by cut over activity? Simply you have to say cut over activity is a data migration activity where the data will be migrated from where to where? From legacy system to SAP system. Don't say Tally, Oracle or something. Instead of Tally, there could be another ERP also, right? So in cut over activity, the data will be migrated from legacy system to SAP system. This is what you have to explain. Cut over activity is data migration activity. And here we migrate the data from legacy system to SAP system. Generally, this cutover activity happen exactly like, of course, in last phase only we can say, okay, cutover activity happen in last phase. Why? Because once we migrate the data from legacy system to SAP system, then for the time being, maybe for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, this legacy system will be, it won't be used by end users, right? It won't be used by end user. Why? Because let's suppose in legacy system there are certain transactions, okay? So we have migrated from here to here. Meanwhile, if the end users, in the sense employee of Tata Motor, right? So employee of Tata Motor will be called user or end user. So if those people keep on posting the transactions in legacy system, then what happened? We have migrated data on a particular date from here to here, SAP, legacy system to SAP system. But now, the moment if you match the overall balances here from legacy system to SAP system, so if the client, in the sense, if the users keep on using legacy system, guys, data match will not be there. The moment you have migrated the data from legacy system to SAP system, right, a particular data is migrated, whereas the end user has posted some new data. So here a different balance will be there, and here a different balance will be there. Okay, so that's the reason. At the last, in the sense, let's suppose if the go live is like, let's suppose SAP system is about to go live. In the sense, our entire activities are completed. Then at last moment we have to go for cutover activity. Okay, so generally this is what is happening. So we have to announce a date that when this cutover activity will happen, in the sense when the data migration activity will happen. So a date we have to announce. Let's suppose if it is 1st of April is the go live date already decided by client. So just 4 days or 5 days back, we have to announce this cutover activity that, okay, from 25th March or 26th March onwards, this cutover activity will be started. Data migration activity will be started, right? So the particular date which we have announced is called cutover date. Okay, so this particular date is called cutover date. So I don't think that you guys will be having any confusion here. If anybody asks what do you mean by cutover date, so cutover date is the date from where like cutover activity will be started. Simplest definition. See, I'll tell you guys, everything are simple only, but it is simple if it is explained by the faculty. If it is not explained, the same question, let's suppose if I don't explain cutover activity, and if it is asked by interviewer, right, no one will be able to answer. Even you can't guess also what is this cutover activity, right? So cutover activity is data migration activity, and this data migration activity will be taking place, from on a particular date. So that date will be called cutover date. So from that date onwards, data migration activity will be started from legacy system to SAP system. Okay, so here I have explained this cutover activity. So in fourth phase or final phase, generally what happened? UAT and cutover activity, these two activity. Okay, end user training. End user training also simultaneously it will be going on, guys, because end user training means it takes some time. It is not possible to train the people in just 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. It takes some time because, see, end user training means we have to train the people. We have done the configurations of, let's suppose, cash journal. We have done the configurations of 5mm integrations, that is for PO related invoices. We have done the configurations for non-PO invoices, right? We have done the configurations for tax related, this one. In the sense, direct and indirect tax related configurations are done. Asset accounting related configurations are done. So we have to train those people that how these transactions will be like We have done the configurations for automatic payment program. So we have to train them that how APP will work, right? So this is called end user training. When you give training, simply we have to user level in the sense like, see, two things are there. Configurations will be done by you people. So we won't explain anything related to configurations because that is not their part. After configurations, we are performing testing. Testing is performed by you people, right? As a consultant after configurations. So whatever activities are done in testing, testing means what? We have done the configurations. Let's suppose account payable basic setting. Then we have to post an invoice. We have to post a payment to check whether it is working fine or not. So this invoice posting and payment posting is day-to-day activity, guys. Once the SAP system goes live, then what happened? In day-to-day activity, this end users will perform this invoice posting related activity, payment posting related activity, cash related transaction posting, right? Asset related transaction posting, tax related transaction posting. So these are the day-to-day activity which is performed by end user, right? So we have to train those people for these things. Look at here how the invoice is posted, how the credit memo is posted, how the payment is posted. Okay. So these things we have to teach the end users because they are using a different system. Now they are switching on SAP. So in SAP, how these transactions are getting posted, that we have to train, that we have to provide the training. Now, again, the another thing is, so here training. Now let's suppose in Tata Motor we are having, as I said, like 200 members are there. Are we going to train all these 200 people? So no, generally no need to train for all 200 people. If needed, then Tata Motor can externally they can invite somebody or they can request the team that once the go live is done, then after you can conduct certain session for my entire team. That is a different request. But generally, what happen if you talk about here end user training, then we have to invite like core team member, and apart from this core team member, we can say that you just invite 5 6 experts along with you, right? So he is going to identify or she is going to identify who are those 5 6 people. So along with core team member, there will be some 5 6 senior people from finance team. We have to train those people. End user training we have to provide those people, and these people will train their colleague. Okay, they will teach their colleague that look at here how the transactions are getting posted. So in this way, generally end user training will be conducted and completed. Okay. Now preparation of training manuals. So we have to prepare a document also. Whichever trainings are given. So for that we have to prepare a document, because let's suppose if somebody had stuck somewhere at the time of testing, immediately they'll inform you, they'll call you. So instead of that, prepare a manual, prepare a training manual, hand over them, so that if somebody is not able to understand, okay, what next, then training manual is there. Screenshots and everything, we have to take the screenshot, we have to paste it, right? So training manual will be there. They can refer the training manual and they can proceed further. So that's the reason we have to prepare a training manual as well. What next, guys? The next one is configuration document. So we have to prepare a configuration document. See, now again, so most of the candidate ask like, so why to prepare this configuration document? As I said, like configurations will be done by us. So this is a secret thing that's supposed to be there with us only. We are not supposed to hand over the configuration document, right? So I'll tell you guys, no. Whenever the contract sign off happened, contract in the sense like, as I said, like let's suppose this implementation is done by IBM. Okay, it is being done by IBM in Tata Motor. So there will be a contract will be there. Okay, a contract will be signed by both party, Tata Motor and IBM. So in the contract itself, initially they will specify all these conditions, guys. Right? So in that itself, it will be there that whatever configurations you guys have done, you have to prepare a document and we have to hand over to the Tata Motor. And those are the property of Tata Motor only. Right? Generally, what happen when you become SAP consultant, let's suppose you are the part of implementation team, you have done implementations, SAP implementations, right, in a particular organization. That organization is called client, right? For a particular client. Then what happened? After completion of implementations, guys, whatever data are there in your laptop, whichever documents you have prepared, right? You cannot take it and you cannot go out by taking these documents because that is their intellectual property. So generally what happened after implementations their IT team will be there. These people are going to format the server, in the sense format in the sense they'll clean the entire what to say data. But again, as I said, like if somebody has like somebody want to take certain documents for the future reference and all, they can keep it, guys. We are having multiple way. Okay, so that is a different thing. But yes, generally what happened, so whichever documents are prepared, these documents we have to hand over to the client. Okay, so in that even configuration document also will be there. Till date whatever configurations we have done for these all configurations, so these all steps we have to specify in a document. We have to take out the screenshot, we have to prepare a document. That document is all configuration document. Okay, when I start the configurations, guys, for every configurations I will give you guys a document also, that is called configuration document. Okay, so configuration document also will be given. Now, so that's the reason here, because of this contract, right? We have to hand over configuration document. There is another benefit, not for this IBM, but for Tata Motor. Let's suppose entire implementation is done by IBM. IBM has done the entire implementations. After that, let's suppose, as per the earlier contract for this implementations, right? For implementations, there will be a contract. So, as per this implementation contract, let's suppose they have given 1 month, right? Free of cost support, or 2 month free of cost support. After that, what happened? After that, now they will say that if you want further support from our side, then you have to pay this much amount. And Tata Motor management felt that whatever amount is demanded by IBM is like it's a bit more compared to market standard. So in that case, even they can invite quotations for this support project also from outside of the market, from Wipro, from Infosys, from TCS. And they found for this time, TCS has quoted a best price for them. So in that case, this support project is handed over to the TCS. So look at here. Implementation is done by IBM, but now support will be given by TCS. So TCS IBM people are very much familiar because the team which has implemented, they are very much familiar with Tata Motor business process because they have spent a significant amount of time with Tata Motor. They have done all the configurations. They understood all the business process of Tata Motor. So these guys will be more comfortable if these people get the support project. So their consultant will be more comfortable. Why? Because they have done these implementations and they know each and every individual also, isn't it? So it is quite, these people will be quite comfortable, but again, money matters. So these people have charged more, TCS has charged less. So let's suppose Tata Motor decided to go with TCS for support. So TCS consultants are quite new. How they will come to know that which are the configurations done by IBM? Of course, some standard configurations are there, they will find it out. But still, if the configuration document is there, right? If the configuration document is there, then they can refer this document and they will come to know what exactly configured by IBM, right? So look at here, the configuration document is helping these people to understand lots of things. Okay, so Now, so this is why even the client demand this configuration document. But generally, what happened, guys? One thing is there. If we talk about this implementation project, if it is given to a particular IT company, even the support project is also given to the same company. In most of the cases, almost 95% of the cases, the same thing will happen, or 90% of the cases, the same thing will happen. Okay, in only 5 to 10% of the cases, implementation is done by a different player, and support will be given by a different player. Okay, now, so configuration document we have to prepare, and once it is once it is prepared, that we have to hand over to the client. So these are the activity which is happening here in final preparation. Okay, so once these all activities are performed, guys, then what next? Then no need to perform any other activity. Okay, now we are ready for go live. Okay, ready for go live. So look at here in go live. So go live, what is happening, guys? Go live, nothing. There is no any activity. Go live means what? Go live means SAP system is ready to record live transaction. Go live is nothing but a party time. Now SAP, all the configurations are completed. Unit test, in the sense all the testing, unit test, integration test, user acceptance test, everything's are completed. Everybody is satisfied, right? All the documents are, we have handed over to the client. Apart from this, the end user trainings are also completed. Now, so now we are ready to go live. In the sense, now what will happen, guys? On a particular date, let's suppose, as I said, like 1st of April. So 1st of April, or whichever date is decided. So on that particular date, what happened? SAP system will, that is ready to record the live transaction. Which means all the transactions will be posted here into SAP system, and whatever the legacy systems are there, that become past, that become history. It means now they are not going to use the legacy system, they will use SAP system itself. Okay, now I'll tell you. Of course, if they started using SAP system, they'll be having certain issues. They'll be having certain errors. Who will like what to say solve these errors, guys? If the client is facing certain issues, of course you people, since you are the consultant, you guys are consultant, so you people can solve those problem. So that's the reason once the go live is done, then also they need support, our support, consultant support. Okay, in that case, that is their choice whether they want to continue with the IBM itself, or they want to go with a different what do you say service provider, that is TCS or Tech Mahindra or Wipro, Infosys, whatever it is. But they need support. Now, I told you guys two kind of supports are there. Okay, earlier, let's suppose in this Tata Motor implementation project, TCS also quoted certain amount, and IBM was quoted certain amount. Okay, so TCS saying that we will charge, say for example, we will charge, now let's suppose, some 20 CR, and in that we are giving 1 year free of cost support. Whereas IBM is saying that I will charge only 12 CR, and I'll give only 2 months free of cost support. Okay, so somewhere they have decreased the amount. At the same time, look at here, the support durations, that is also decreased by IBM people. So the project went to IBM, client thought, okay, let's do this implementations in 12 crore only. And later on, what is happening, like they will give the free of cost support for 2 months. After that, we will decide whether we have to go with IBM or TCS or what, right? So again, and now in support, let's suppose IBM has demanded more. So in that case, they have to provide 2 months support, and after that, their work is done. Now TCS will take over this project. Okay, so this 2 month support for a smaller duration is called hypercare. Okay, hypercare. Support for smaller durations. Smaller duration means for a quarter max to max. It is called hypercare. And any support which is more than 3 months, that is called the support, in the sense like 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 6 month, 1 year. This is called support. But the same support for a small duration is called hypercare. Okay, sometime what happened? People ask the differences between support and hypercare. So hypercare means support for small durations is like if we have to provide the support to the client. So if it is equal or less than 3 months, that is called hypercare. And if the same is like more than 3 months, for 6 months, 1 year, that is called support. So this is what the difference. Okay. So hypercare is nothing but support itself. The different name is given by SAP. That's fine. You need to know. And that's the reason I said. So hypercare means support itself for a smaller durations that is equal or less than 1 quarter. 1 quarter means 3 months. Okay. So this is what is happening, guys, here. And as I written here, so generally in support, post implementations, after implementations, all this SAP related maintenance or error activity comes under support project. And here consultant just receive the ticket. Okay, ticket is nothing but errors. You have to solve it, and then you have to send it back to the client. Okay, so you have to solve these all tickets or errors, whatever is there, that you have to send it back to the client. In the sense, you have to inform the client that this error is solved. They will perform the testing, and then they can proceed further. So this is what is happening in support now. So these 5 phases are there. In which one? In ASAP methodology. Okay, and as I told you guys, see, SAP is having two versions, that is ECC, and we are having another version called S4 HANA. S4 HANA. Okay, we have two versions, ECC and S4 HANA. Now ECC is the old version now. Okay, and S4 HANA is the new version. Okay, entire explanations will be there on new version itself, because this is what is demanded nowadays in the market. Who cares about the old version now, which is already outdated? But so when the implementation was happening on ECC version, in that case we have to follow ASAP methodology. And same implementations now it is happening on S4 HANA, so we have to follow activate methodology. Okay, see, now I'll give explanations about activate methodology, and let's have a look how it is similar to SAP. How it is similar to ASAP. ASAP we have 5 phases. In activate, 5 to 6 phases. Some people will say 6 phases, some people will say 5 phases. Okay, so just make it like that. 5 to 6 phases. So how it is 5 to 6 phases? I will tell you guys. Here generally in activate also we can say 5 phases only. Okay, the sixth phase is there. I'll tell you how it is 5 phases only. So right now, so activate means implementation happen on S4 HANA, we have to follow activate. And if implementation was happening on ECC version, we used to follow ASAP methodology. Now, again, there is no any kind of restrictions that you must have to follow this activate methodology itself. In real time, I'll tell you guys, depends upon project manager, how they want to proceed, they can proceed. Right? There is no any kind of restrictions that you have to follow this one or you have to follow this one or what. In whichever way they felt comfortable, they can go. And that's what I said, like in real time, generally what happened, you won't be able to realize when the first phase came, when the second phase came, when the third phase came, because sometime what happened generally, so in blueprint discussions are happening with a client, at the same time some consultant will start doing configurations also, because there are certain basic settings, right? So those settings we must have to perform those settings, and it doesn't have any impact on the discussions, because we must have to start like you must have to configure those steps, then only we can proceed further. So those mandatory configurations we will start in the second phase also, right? So that's the reason I said, like, in real time, generally what is happening, everything's are going to be mixed, but yes, this things are given by SAP and you need to know. If anybody asks during interview, so you cannot say that no, we didn't follow this methodology, right? You need to know and you have to explain. So now we'll talk about, so ASAP is completed. Now we'll talk about activate methodology. Look at here, in activate methodology, we're having, so here 6 phases are specified, that is discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run. I will tell you guys, if you live, okay, if you live up this discover, okay, you just minus the first phase, then prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run. This is almost the same activity which we have done in ASAP. Okay, it is almost the same activity which we have done in ASAP. The name, of course, the name are changed here, right? So I'll explain here one by one what is happening in these phases. So discover phase, generally I minus this phase. Okay, I says activate methodology is having 5 phases: preparations, explore, realize, deploy, and run. Because from this phase onwards, our involvement is there, consultant involvement is there. Before that, discover phase says what? Discover phase is saying, look at here, that this phase, okay, this is the phase where the client or customer realize that there is a need for a solution to satisfy their business pain points. So in discover phase, generally what is happening, there will be involvement of clients only. Our involvements are not there at all. That's the reason I say in activate methodology we are having 5 phases only. But again, if anybody asks during interview, you can say 6 phase also, discover, prepare, all the phases you can explain. Okay, so I will also keep here 6 phases. Okay, 6 phases. But generally what happened, our involvement, consultant involvements will be there from this second phase onwards. Okay, in first phase only client involvements are there. So let me explain. Discover phase means what is happening here. So in activate we are having total 6 phases. These are the 6 phases which I have specified. I'll explain one by one what is happening in every phase now. So here, okay, and I'll record small session, guys, so that there won't be you guys won't feel boring or something. If it is a very longer session, then of course, like, some people will like feel that it is boring, quite boring. So small sessions means that is fine. Now, so look at here in discover. So discover phase, this is the phase where the client realize or customer realize. Who is the client or customer, guys? Tata Motor. Okay, now we have to implement SAP here in Tata Motor. And which version, guys? The latest version, that is S4 HANA. Okay, so S4 HANA we have to implement, SAP S4 HANA we have to implement in Tata Motor. Now, so first of all, have to, Tata Motor has to realize about their need, right? So look at here, in this phase, the client or customer, I mean to say Tata Motor, realize that there is a need for a solution to satisfy their business pain points. What is this pain points? Pain points means management required various different kind of reports, and which is not possible to extract those kind of report from legacy system, whichever legacy system they are using, whether it is Tally, Oracle, or whatever it is. So they found that there are certain kind of report which is pretty important, but we are not able to generate from the legacy system. So of course it's a kind of pain points for them, isn't it? And not only those things, let's suppose at the time of transaction posting also, the users has given some suggestions to the management that in this way, if we proceed further, that is going to be more beneficial. But whichever legacy system is there, so there, like, IT team is there. Legacy system means, of course, for that particular legacy system also consultants will be there, right? So those people says that these kind of customizations are not possible, right? So now it's time Okay, so it's time to find out the solution to satisfy their business pain points. So they will think about a different ERP, right? So look at here. Hence, start looking out for the right solution. The right solutions means, let's suppose they decided that yes, SAP is the best. Okay. So what happened here? Okay. So now look at here. So here in this phase, customer may apply for a free trial solution. Nowadays, SAP, of course, they can offer, they can offer this uh, trial also. Okay, I have just given sap.com is there. That is the website where the customer can visit and they can. Okay, so here a link I have given. That's fine. So, okay, so they can go for free trial solution if required. Okay, why I said like if required? Sometime what happened, the client is already determined that I have to go for SAP itself because they have seen the functionality somewhere. So they know that no need to go for the trial and all. We have to go for SAP directly. This is what is decided. And that is like 100% decided. So they have to go. So if required, they can go for free trial, or is if not needed, then simply they can go for implementation itself. They will check the implementation partner. It could be TCS, IBM, Wipro, Infosys, as I said. They can go for direct implementations. Now, if the client is totally new for this SAP, then they can go for trial also. Now, look at here. Trial means to check out the features and functionality. Okay, so for that, they have to go for trial. Now, look at here. SAP offer a guided trial of S4 HANA, which includes pre configured sample data. Okay, now, so a guided trial for of S4 HANA, which includes pre configured, because client is not the expert, guys. Okay, client is not the expert. So, generally, what happened? SAP is offering this SAP S4 HANA cloud version actually. So, trial in that certain pre configured data are already there. So if the client has to test, okay, let me check how the vendor invoice is posted here into SAP. How the non-PO invoices are getting posted, how the PO invoices, how to set up the purchase order, right? How to set up the purchase order. So now, so again, there'll be a question that these people are not expert of SAP. So if they have to test these all things, so SAP is first of all SAP has given pre-configured sample data, and country wise it is given. Okay, no matter whichever country client belongs to. So now pre-configured sample data is given by SAP, but still if they have to create the purchase order, they don't know how to create the purchase order, right? So they don't know. So we are having like SAP also offer the best practice documents, practice document. They can refer the SAP documents, guys, and with the help of that they can create the purchase order, they can post the vendor invoice, they can post the customer invoice. In the sense, they can check the functionality. Before going for SAP, they will check the functionality. If they are satisfied that yes, this ERP, this software is far better than the ERP which is being used by client, then of course they can go for SAP, right? So that's the reason I said like pre-configured sample data are already there, guided tour for finance sales. Okay, these are the module. Okay, these are the module. So they can check the activities related to finance modules, sales and distribution module, procurement related activity. They can check these things. If the free trial, okay, doesn't fit exact needs, the client can request a personalized demo. See, I'll tell you guys, if the free trial is not like, if they're not able to understand, it is creating some confusion. So then even they can ask for a personalized demo. Okay, so who will be giving demo, guys? So this often happens through SAP. In the sense, SAP is an organization. Okay, SAP is an organization. Now, so this demo will be given either by SAP or SAP implementation partner. I will tell you guys, several thousand customers nowadays are using SAP. Okay, this SAP system, SAP software is being used by several thousand customers. What do you think? SAP alone can handle these entire projects if there are 5,000 clients are there or 10,000 clients are there, entire world. These many customers are using SAP. So alone SAP cannot handle these entire projects. So that's the reason SAP is having lots of implementation partner, or we can say partner only. Okay. So SAP is having lots of partner. Okay. Now, so these partners means it is TCS, IBM, Infosys, Wipro, like that multiple implementation partners are there. Okay. So these all people, even TCS is also having huge number of SAP consultant, IBM, Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, right? Like that, these are the big player. There will be 100, more than 100 big players are there. Apart from this, there are certain medium size and small organizations are also there. Even they are also the partner of SAP, right? So SAP is having multiple partner. So that, see, there'll be a question. If the implementation is done by SAP directly in Tata Motor, they will generate the revenue. But if the implementation is done by, let's suppose, IBM in Tata Motor, the revenue goes to IBM. So now here, that's fine. SAP does not have any problem. IBM has done the implementation. Of course, the revenue goes to IBM because they deserve. But what is the benefit of SAP? Of course, there is a benefit, guys. Look at here, the SAP server, right? Tata Motor need SAP server. So for that, they have to make the payment to SAP. So still SAP is generating revenue for their software, right? Whatever subscriptions, like how many user IDs are there, so those many IDs will be created and they have to make payment annually to the SAP for this SAP server which is being used by those people. Okay. Now, so of course SAP is also having benefit, and that's the reason lots of implementation partners are there. Okay, which is the partner of SAP, and they will do the implementations in different project. Okay, so generally what happened, the demo will be given by either SAP or an SAP implementation partner. So they know very well that yes, Wipro, Infosys, IBM, Tech Mahindra, and these companies are also doing the implementation. So they can invite anybody for this demo. Okay, now the next one is, this discover phase will help the client to consider and experience SAP S/4HANA before starting a project to implement. So of course, before starting the implementations, first of all, then they want to check it, guys, because implementation involve a huge cost. Once they have gone for this implementations, and after that if they feel that they are not satisfied, which is almost next to impossible because SAP provide a very wide variety of solutions, and that's the reason, guys, now most of the clients are, almost everybody are satisfied. You can find there, you can we can you can find certain messages, certain, what do you say, news that okay, uh, there is a company which has switched from a particular ERP to SAP, right? But there is very less or least examples are there where somebody has switched from SAP to non SAP. Okay, there might be a chances that okay, the client, in the sense whichever companies are there, their business is having certain downfall and they are unable to uh, in the sense whatever the maintenance charges are there, they are unable to make the payment, so they can go for a smaller platform. That is a different thing, guys. But these are the very almost like, and I can say like least examples are there, right? SAP means everybody are quite satisfied. Now, so here, of course, in discover phase, the client will consider, so client to consider and experience S/4HANA before starting the project, right, to implement. By the end of this phase, customer finalize to go ahead with the SAP solution, and they will move to the next phase where the actual implementation life cycle started. So generally what happened in this phase, our involvement is not there. Whatever is done by whatever is done, that is done by clients only. Okay, our involvement, there might be a chances that our involvement will be there for a smaller, what you say, this one time period, where if they demand for demo in that case, and demo from a particular client like IBM, Accenture, wherever, so somebody will go to provide the demo to the client, and that is a different thing. But altogether, all over here, like our involvements, consultant involvements are not there here in discover phase. Client is taking the decisions, client is, making all the experiment. Okay, and they're checking that yes, SAP is this ERP will be suitable for us or not. So at last, okay, they realize that yes, SAP solution is the best solution for them. So now they have to move to the next phase, where the actual implementations. Next phase means actual implementations, means now it is going to be started from next phase onwards, where our involvement is there, right? So now in next phase, what is happening? What activities will be performed by a consultant? So that I'll explain in next session, guys.